Let's talk about Halloween H20, 20 years later. Let's talk about the pros, the cons. There's probably going to be more pros than cons, so we're going to get right down to it. So this movie has a lot of Scream vibes to it. One, we have Patrick Lussier, who I believe, and this is actually a VHS copy of the film. I do own the Blu-ray copy of it on the deluxe edition, and I also own a DVD copy which I had given to one of my brothers who is also a huge Halloween fan. But let's go back with Patrick Lussier, who is actually, if I can see correctly on here, was the film editor on Halloween H20. Now, why I bring up Patrick Lussier is because Patrick Lussier has worked on a couple of Scream films. And with Halloween H20, this was by Dimension Home Video, the same company that put out the Scream films. Not the new one that's coming out, but the Scream films, which were, you know, the first three. I'm not really sure if the Scream 4... Yeah, Scream 4 was Dimension Films put out Scream 4. But anyways, then you got Marco Beltrami, okay? Now, if that name doesn't ring a bell, I don't know where anybody has been if you're a horror fan. Marco Beltrami does the music for Halloween H20. He also did the music for the Scream films. So you get to see, and you'll notice once you're in the film. I don't know who hasn't even seen Halloween H20. If you have, or if you haven't, you don't know what you're missing out. I still think it's a great film, regardless of this whole situation here with the Scream vibes that we got going on with the film. But you feel a lot of and hear a lot of the composing music from the Scream franchise in Halloween H20. I know some people have complained about, oh, it doesn't feel like a Halloween film. You know, I have to say it does and it doesn't. This is the first one that isn't in Haddonfield, Illinois. It's Michael going to Summer Glen, California to find Laurie Strode, who is living under the name of Kara Tate, and she is the head school mistress or head school master, or whatever you want to call it. And he tracks her down nearly 20 years later after the events of the first two films. This film here, Halloween H20, disregards anything with 4, 5, and 6. It erases it, like 4, 5, and 6 never even happened, which is a little disappointing. But then again, you get like a couple of different Michael Myers masks in this. In the first scene, where he's actually, I believe, going after Mary Samuels, he has the Curse of Michael Myers mask on. Then there's another scene in the film where he has a digitized mask, and then in another scene for, like, I think the rest of it, it's a different type of mask where you can actually see pretty much his eyes, but mostly his eyes and the skin around his eyes, which is, you know, very kind of unusual. But Chris Duran, who played Michael Myers in Halloween H20, to me, I think he did a really good job. I don't have any complaints about him. I think it's really, really funny when, you know, every time LL Cool J is playing Ronnie in the guard shack, and, you know, of course, Ronnie's going from one end of the guard shack to the other, and there's a window, and Michael mysteriously appears. I thought that was pretty hilarious. Let's talk about the cast. Of course, you get. This is the first triumphant return of Jamie Lee Curtis. She hasn't been in a Halloween film since Halloween 1 and 2, the original, and of course the newer stuff that she's in, they're not as good as what the original franchise is. But you know, anyways, I had mixed feelings about Halloween Kills. Thought I liked it. Then I had mixed feelings, but like I said, this isn't about Halloween Kills. This is about Halloween H20. I think the way this film goes, I think it's interesting that Michael is on the hunt. Now, I heard a theory or something online that Michael was trying to look for Jamie's baby or his baby, and he came across a file of Laurie Strode stating that she didn't get killed in a car accident. I believe that's how it went in the in H20. She didn't get killed in a car accident. That she's actually still alive, and that's why they did what they did with retconning out or erasing out 4, 5, and 6. So I think that was pretty cool. And I know I keep looking down here, but I'm looking down at the VHS cover. We got a really unique cast here. We got, of course, you know, we already mentioned Jamie Lee Curtis. We got Michelle Williams. Now, I just seen Michelle Williams' new movie, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. By the way, that was a great one. We got Michelle Williams. We got LL Cool J, Josh Hartnett in his very first film. And it's kind of funny that Josh Hartnett, this was his very first film. Because 20 years ago, back in 1998, 20 years earlier, Jamie Lee Curtis made her feature film debut in 1978 with John Carpenter's Halloween. You got Jodie Lynn O'Keefe. You got Janet Leigh, which is, everybody should know this, Jamie Lee Curtis's mother. I thought it was really cool, the nod to Psycho in there, where she's getting ready to leave, and she's actually getting ready to leave in the car that she was buried in Psycho. I thought it was a really awesome nod to that. This is also directed by Steve Miner, the legendary Steve Miner, who directed Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3, which by far are stellar films in the Friday the 13th franchise, in my opinion. Everybody else's opinions may be different, but to me that's how I feel. I think the setting is really nice. It's in like a private school, I believe. Of course, they all have to wear uniforms. The students do. You get Alan Arkin, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which he's in here. He's in only in the beginning. And you get Nancy Stephens, who was Mary Samuels. She was also in the original Halloween 1 and 2, and she's in the new Halloween Kills. Sadly, she doesn't make it out of this one, and she doesn't make it out of Halloween Kills either. But I enjoyed her in Halloween 2. She comes near the end. But yeah, I mean this. I mean the pros. I mean the pros is just, you know, the composing music. It's got too much of a Scream vibe to it because it's by the composer who did the Scream score. The positives to me are basically, you have Jamie Lee Curtis. That's a huge plus. Jamie Lee Curtis coming back. I didn't get a chance to see this in the theater because I was still underage to see the rated R films, but I did manage to see the one that came after as Resurrection. The cast is great. I love the cast. Very, very modern back in, you know, in its time in 1998. A lot of the current rising stars back then. And then of course, you know, you got the iconic character of Michael Myers in the film. And I think it's really cool that instead of it being set in Haddonfield, Illinois, he's traveling across the United States to get to California, or from Haddonfield or Langdon, Illinois, which is in the film, to get to Summer Glen, California, to track Laurie Strode down. He finally does. I thought that was a really cool plot, real cool story that the writers did. And I think the writers, who are the writers on this? Man, this is so small. You can't even tell. But anyways, I mean, whoever wrote this did a real good job. I mean, I thought it was. This would have been an awesome ending to the Halloween franchise the way it ended. But then you get to Halloween Resurrection, you see in the beginning of what happened in their version, and it really wasn't Michael getting his head chopped off. I thought that was kind of lame, but yeah, Halloween H20 before Resurrection came out should have been really the last one. But, you know, people are going to do things. And then there was supposed to be another movie right after following up Resurrection. They never did it. They went straight into the Rob Zombie films, and then after the zombie films, we get the Blumhouse Halloweens. But other than that, guys, that's Halloween H20. Whether you like it, whether you don't, I love it. It's one of my favorites, along with the original first two films. And enough said. So there we go.